Dear students, today I have brought this question to you. We are given the value of sine theta 3/4, and we need to find out the value of 1/tan theta minus tan theta over 1/tan theta plus tan theta. So to solve this, okay, let me take out only the numerator to have clear understanding of solving it. So if you take only the numerator, it is 1/tan theta minus tan theta. Now how you solve it, right? If you know LCM, you can take LCM and solve it. Otherwise, you know, when you have same denominator in the fraction, you can operate, either you can add or subtract. In multiplication we don't need to worry, but in addition and subtraction the denominator must be same. For that, if you apply that technique, then you can multiply this tan theta by tan theta over tan theta, so that you will get, you know, same denominator. You will make the denominator same. And you may know it very well that you can multiply this by tan theta over tan theta, or in other words, you can multiply any fraction or any number by such a fraction where both the numerator and denominator are same, because technically tan theta over tan theta means 1. Okay, so when you do this, you will get 1/tan theta minus tan square theta over tan theta. All right, since you have same denominator, you can write it singularly as a single fraction, that is 1 minus tan square theta over tan theta. So this is going to be our solution for the numerator if you treat it separately. All right, similarly, when you treat this denominator separately, you will have the same terms, but the sign will be different. So this is for numerator part. For denominator part, I am not going to show this all, but you will get 1 plus tan square theta over tan theta. This is going to be in the denominator. So now in the numerator we have 1 minus tan square theta over tan theta, and in the denominator we have 1 plus tan square theta over tan theta. All right, now what happens is you need to apply the formulas. Before that, you have one fraction in the numerator and one more fraction in the denominator. So you can eliminate tan theta and tan theta directly, or the logic behind it is 1 minus tan square theta over tan theta, this is in the denominator, times, you reverse the denominator and numerator and you express like this by using times tan theta over 1 plus tan square theta. When we do this tan theta and tan theta, we can eliminate them since they are in numerator and denominator, which you can directly do by eliminating them after we are familiar with this. Otherwise, you will be writing this, you will show it. Now you have 1 minus tan square theta in the numerator and 1 plus tan square theta in the denominator. Now if you go on applying this 1 plus tan square theta, which is sec square theta. This changes into sec square theta, right? This changes into sec square theta. You will solve it, but it will take little more steps in doing that, because after you changing this into sec square theta, you will be writing 1 over sec square theta minus tan square theta over sec square theta, and you will further operate on that. Since the value of sine theta is given in the question, so instead of changing 1 plus tan square theta into sec square theta, I advise you to change this tan square theta into sine square theta over cos square theta over 1 plus sine square theta over cos square theta. Fortunately or unfortunately, this is similar to what we have just done a while ago, because you have 1 minus sine square theta over cos square theta. If you take only the numerator, then to operate this, you may treat to simplify this, you may treat 1. Let me write it here. It may not be visible here, that is why I will be writing it once again the same. This is in the numerator, and in the denominator we have 1 plus sine square theta over cos square theta. It is not necessary, what I'm going to do, it is not necessary for you to do if you know how to take LCM. Otherwise, for simplicity, 1 means cos square theta over cos square theta, just to ensure that we have same denominator. It is already sine square theta over cos square theta, and here also cos square theta over cos square theta plus sine square theta over cos square theta. So cos square theta over cos square theta means 1. All right. So after this, you have cos square theta minus sine square theta over cos square theta over cos square theta plus sine square theta over cos square theta. As we had a same situation here, we can eliminate tan theta. We could eliminate tan theta and tan theta. Similarly, we can eliminate cos square theta and cos square theta. When we do this, we have cos square theta minus sine square theta in the numerator and cos square theta plus sine square theta in the denominator. And we know cos square theta plus sine square theta means cos square theta plus sine square theta means 1, so we don't need to write it again. Now we have cos square theta minus sine square theta. Now since the value is in terms of sine theta, we have to change this cos square theta into sine, which is 1 minus sine square theta. Now we write this minus sine square theta. So 1 minus sine square theta minus sine square theta is 2 sine square theta. 1 minus 2 times the value of sine theta is 3 over 4, so 3 over 4 whole square. 1 minus 2 times 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. So 2 times 8 is now 16. If you take LCM, it would be 8 minus 9 over 8. So minus 1 over 8 is your answer. Minus 1 over 8 is your answer. So here you can change this 1 plus tan into sec, and you may be solving that way too. But this is all these, like 1 changing into cos square theta over cos square theta, this is for demonstration and for understanding. If you know of taking LCM, then you might be skipping this. It is not really necessary, and you can directly do this.